What's up YouTube? Agent Zero here, and today I'm going to be doing a comparison video between the Braytech Winter Wolf and the Kibou. These are two legendary auto rifles in Destiny 2, and the first thing to note is they are not in the same slot. What I mean by that is the Braytech Winter Wolf is in the kinetic weapon slot, while the Kibou is in the energy weapon slot. So you can equip both of these guns at the same time. However, both of them are 450 round per minute auto rifles, so I'm going to be taking a look at these two guns side by side. Maybe you want to know if you only want to equip one 450 auto, which one you should equip, or maybe you want to know if you're going to equip both, which one should be your primary and which one should be your backup. So hopefully this video is going to help you guys decide, or maybe you just want to watch a comparison video of these two guns, and so here it is. So now that we've talked about that, first I'm going to talk about the stats of these two guns, then get into the perks, then I'll get into the subjective part of the review. So first, the stats. These are both 450 round per minute auto rifles. Their impact is the same. Now, moving down the list, we get into range, where the Braytech Winter Wolf has the edge. Then we go into stability, where the Kibou has a little bit better stability than the Braytech Winter Wolf. Magazine size, the edge goes to the Winter Wolf. It is definitely a much bigger magazine size than the Kibou. The reload speed is going to go to neither of these. They are both even with that reload speed, and then handling the slightest of edges goes to the Kibou. Let's get into two hidden statistics that I normally talk about: the inventory size and aim assistance. The inventory size is the extra ammunition a gun can hold. That stat goes to the Braytech Winter Wolf, and the aim assistance is the amount of magnetic force that draws a gun to an enemy, and that also goes to the Braytech Winter Wolf. So now that we've talked about the stats, let's get into the perks of these two guns. Both of these have some pretty cool perks. So as you can see from the video, the Braytech Winter Wolf only has one sight. So the sight you see is the sight you get. If you don't like it, unfortunately, you're stuck with it. It has a bunch of different barrels though, which changes the range of the gun and the handling. So depending on what you like, maybe you want more range, maybe you want more handling, you'll change the barrel size. Me personally, I prefer the fluted barrel, which is the middle barrel when you're looking at the perk tree of the Braytech Winter Wolf. On the Kibou, it only has two sights, and you will see them on the screen. The first is the Candle PS sight, the second is the Flash HS5 sight. Both of these sights, I don't mind either of them. I can use both of them, and they're both fine in my opinion, but you can choose whichever one you prefer. They really don't make too much of a difference. Now moving on into that middle section, the Braytech Winter Wolf has two middle perks. One is armor piercing round, one is tactical mag. Tactical mag mainly increases that magazine size and does a couple other things. It increases stability, reload speed. Armor piercing rounds does extra damage to shields and also increases the range. So that's something to note. Maybe you're in PvE and you want to do some extra damage to shields. Armor piercing rounds definitely helps out with that. On the Kibou, it also has actually the same middle perks, armor piercing rounds and tactical mag. So they are even in that middle perk slot. Now the final bread and butter perk. The Braytech Winter Wolf actually has two of them, which is definitely awesome. You could choose either one that you prefer. There's High Impact Reserves and there's Zen Moment. High Impact Reserves, as the magazine gets lower, you're going to be dealing more damage, but you have to hit the midpoint in the magazine before you start dealing that extra damage. So High Impact Reserves is not good for people who are serial reloaders, if you will. So after you maybe get a kill, or after you maybe even fire off just one bullet, you decide to hit that reload button, High Impact Reserves would probably not be good for you. Zen Moment though, a very good perk. As you cause damage, the weapon's ability increases. Eventually the gun will fire like a laser. It's definitely an awesome perk to have. The Kibou also has an amazing perk. It has Dragonfly, and so precision kills with the gun create an explosion, and that can damage enemies in the nearby vicinity. So now that we've talked about the stats and the perks, let's get into the subjective part of the review, where I give my opinion on these two guns and which one I prefer and why. So first, let's talk about PvE. Both of these guns have definitely a lot of good things for PvE. The Braytech Winterwolf is very good when you're dealing with bosses. If you're a player who is more focused on taking out the boss, or you're in a group of players and your goal is to do damage to the boss, the Braytech Winterwolf definitely has a lot of tricks to do damage to the boss. The Kibou, on the other hand, has a lot of good tricks to take out hordes of enemies. Dragonfly is great, and I can't say enough about how many times Dragonfly has saved my life. There are times where Thrall or other enemies are rushing me, and Dragonfly has taken out the group of them. When I thought I was going to be vanquished by them, Dragonfly has saved my life. So with that being said, these guns are used for different things. If you are more focused on taking out bosses or more heavily shielded enemies, then I would say the Braytech Winterwolf. If you're more focused on taking out hordes of enemies, or you're more focused on, sometimes like I am, when enemies are rushing down your neck, you want to take out the group before they can get on you quickly, then I would say go with the Kibou. Both of these guns are great for PvE though, don't get me wrong. So whichever one you choose in that circumstance, you are not going to be disappointed. If I was giving a slight edge to one of these guns, somebody told me you gotta choose, there is no ifs, ands, buts, or ors, you gotta pick one of these guns for PvE, I would actually pick the Kibou. And like I said, the Dragonfly perk has saved my life so many times in PvE that I would much rather be able to take out those enemies that are rushing me than deal more damage to a boss, because bosses, they're typically pretty far away, they're not very mobile, so you're able to hide, do damage to them, go back, heal up maybe, and then come back out and then do more damage to the boss. So PvE wise, I'm giving a slight edge to the Kibou. Now PvP. Both of these guns, again, are very good in PvP. Both of them can be used great. I did well with both of these guns, no matter which Crucible match I was doing. Dragonfly, you may not believe it, but since they buffed it, you can definitely get multi-kills with Dragonfly when you're in the Crucible. But the Braytech Winterwolf Zen Moment is amazing in PvP. Your gun starts firing like a laser. As that gun battle continues to go on longer and longer, you're gaining the edge on that opponent. So the Braytech Winterwolf, every gun battle, you are getting Zen Moment if you decide to use Zen Moment. I personally prefer to use Zen Moment when I'm in the Crucible. But if you're using Zen Moment in the Crucible, you're getting that every gun battle. And that gun battle is tipping in your favor every time you use Zen Moment. Where the Kibou, it's when you're hitting the enemies who are closer together. You have a clan that likes to stay together, so you're able to do extra damage, or you're able to kill off weakened enemies who are around the enemy that you just killed with that precision kill with the Kibou. Ultimately, again, both of these guns are very good for the Crucible. You can't go wrong with either one, but if I had to choose just one in the Crucible, I'm going with the Braytech Winterwolf. Definitely Zen Moment, one of my favorite perks, and it is just so amazing to use in the Crucible. You guys are going to love firing that gun like a laser, getting that gun battle in your favor as the gun battle goes on. So these two guns are pretty even, and depending on how you use them, may be just which gun you determine that you want over the other, or which one you choose as your primary and as your secondary. Using both of these guns in unison with each other, one in the kinetic slot, one in the energy slot, you can definitely do that and do well as well, because both of these guns can be used in different scenarios. Overall, if I was forced to pick just one of these guns, if you said, Agent Zero, I need to know, I just want to use one of these 450 auto rifles, which one would you pick? I'm going with the Braytech Winter Wolf. Zen Moment is amazing, and high impact reserves can be used to take out hordes of enemies. So overall, my final pick would be the Braytech Winter Wolf. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more Destiny 2 content. Well, until next time, peace!